There's a good chance that you have watched dozens, if not hundreds, of videos on YouTube about food plots. And I get it. We are always trying to improve our whitetail habitat and to bring deer onto our hunting land. Trust me on this video. Watch the whole video. Remember, I am not sponsored by some seed company. I'm not trying to sell you something. So all I'm trying to do is give you my knowledge. Watch this whole video and you will see how I planted my food plot and why I believe that soybeans should be on your land. Soybeans are amazing when it comes to deer food plots. When you first plant a soybean food plot, you will notice that your deer are in there eating the young soybean plants. They love them, absolutely love them. Hands down, they will choose those young soybean plants over any other crop you have around at that time of year. But typically, they just nip off the top of the plant, leaving the bottom leaves so your soybean plants still continue to grow. Why I believe in soybeans. Number one, when the plants are young, the deer love them. They absolutely tear them up. And they're not hard to plant. But remember, you want to feed your deer later on in the year. So just let your plants continue to grow. The deer will continue to eat the soybeans until they get about just above knee high. Then they slow down. They don't enjoy the older plants as much. But that's fine, because those plants will continue to grow and they will get about chest high for me. And there will be millions of soybeans on those plants. The deer don't tend to eat those green soybeans. Occasionally they will. But then the plants dry out and the soybeans dry out. In the winter, your deer will destroy every soybean that you have left. By spring, you will not find one of those dry soybean pods left. The deer and the turkey have devastated them. That's why I believe soybeans are the number one food plot for deer and turkeys. Hands down, they are a deer attractant and they give the deer the nutrition they need. Now, I'm going to show you how I planted my soybean food plot, and it's not complicated. You don't need seed planters and millions of dollars worth of equipment. Please watch this whole video and you will see how I planted my soybeans, and believe me, soybeans work. I'm not sponsored, people. I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm just trying to give you my advice as a 64-year-old hunter. This video is going to explain how I put in my soybean food plot. I don't have big equipment, but I do have a 25 horse LS tractor. I don't have a seed planter or anything like that, but I have a box blade for my tractor. All I did was come in and first I set my teeth and my box blade just below the soil, and I box bladed everything. Understand that this was all grown up when I started. A lot of it looked like that over there. There was even a lot of the trees which I just pushed over with my tractor, with my front end loader. A lot of these trees. Anyway, after I got everything pushed over, I pushed the big stuff out with the front end loader, and then I box bladed the soil. And I come in with weed killer. I sprayed weed killer about a week after I got done box blading. And then I waited about 2 weeks, and I come in with the box blade again with the teeth just below the soil, and I turned the soil with my box blade. Then I scattered seed. I bought my soybean seed from a local farm supply, scattered them right on top of the dirt. Then I took the box blade again with the teeth just below the soil and went over the whole food plot. Now understand, this food plot is actually about 1.5 acres. The deer have already been hitting it, which I'll show you in a minute. But the soybeans come up fantastic. Even though all I did was use my box blade to put them in the ground, as you see in the video, this is beautiful. And it's going to attract a lot of deer. Anyway, I guess my point is, you don't need big, expensive equipment if you just take the time to do it right. Now, I'm going to walk you through this food plot, and I'll show you some areas where the deer are already nipping off the soybeans. But fortunately, they're leaving the bottom leaves, which means the soybeans will grow back. If you look right here, you can see the deer are already nipping it off over there. But like I say, as long as the plant still has deer tracks right here, as long as the plant still has the bottom leaves on it, it will grow back. But this soybean patch goes, of course, this section you can see, I have a tree stand right there, which I will put a dome blind over top that. You can see they were nipping it off right here, but it's fine. That's why I planted it, so the deer will have a good food source and something high in protein. But this food plot goes quite a ways. It goes back behind those pine trees there, and the plants look absolutely fantastic. Deer tracks everywhere in here. You can see where they've been nipping it off, but they're not hurting it. Very few weeds. These are tremendous here. I mean, of course, some parts of my soil do better than the other. I did spread some 10-10-10 the same day that I planted the soybeans, which seemed to have helped a little bit. I did not put anything else in the soil. I didn't do a soil test, but they go back into there. They go back around the corner there. They go behind these trees. I used every bit of space that I could to get soybeans in the ground. You see, they are scattered around these trees. Again, there will be a dome blind on top of that. That's why there's wood there. That's a tripod stand, but I did want more cover than that, so I built the plywood on there just to support the dome blind. Soybeans don't need to be complicated. All too often you see videos about planting food plots, and they make it too complicated. Soybeans, beautiful. They go back around that way, which they've been hitting it pretty hard over on that section. You can tell that these are almost eating the whole patch here, especially right there in the middle. There's a wild turkey over there. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. There's a wild turkey. But this isn't a turkey video. Soybeans. Go ahead and try it. I didn't spend a lot. I don't have big equipment. And I didn't complicate things. I think this is going to be definitely a great hunting area. I have another food plot that is probably 1/3 of an acre planted in corn. I only have 25 acres total, but I have more deer come onto my property than most people have anywhere around. I'm in south central Kentucky, and yes, we have big deer, but the deer population is kind of mediocre here. But I have a tremendous population. It's not uncommon for me to find 6, 7, 8 deer at a time on my game cameras. Right there. There will definitely be some deer killed. The road is only, where you see my four-wheeler, the road is only 30, maybe 30 yards beyond that. But it doesn't bother the deer because I let it grow up in between the road and the soybean food plot. Come on, if you enjoyed this video and if it helped you out or you learned a little bit of something, please like and subscribe. Peace.